Have you ever looked at someone and wondered why people naturally respect them, listen when they speak, and enjoy being around them? It isn't always because they're the prettiest, the richest, or the loudest person in the room. Real magnetism has very little to do with appearance and almost everything to do with the energy, character, and confidence a person carries. Many girls spend years trying to get attention, changing themselves to fit in, chasing validation, or worrying about what others think. But here's the surprising truth: the more you chase attention, the more it slips away. The girls who leave the strongest impression are often the ones who aren't trying to impress anyone. Imagine a flower in a quiet garden. It doesn't beg people to notice it. It simply blooms, and because it blooms beautifully, people naturally stop to admire it. You are the same. The moment you stop living for approval and start investing in yourself, your character, your confidence, your knowledge, and your peace, you begin to attract respect without asking for it. Becoming magnetic doesn't mean everyone will like you, and that's okay. It means the right people will value your presence because of who you are, not because you're constantly trying to prove yourself. So if you've ever felt invisible or overlooked, remember this: you don't become magnetic by chasing attention. You become magnetic by becoming someone you're proud to be. And that's exactly what we're going to explore together. One of the biggest mistakes an ignored girl makes is believing that if everyone likes her, she'll finally feel important. So she starts changing herself to fit into every group, saying yes when she wants to say no, staying quiet to avoid upsetting people, and pretending to be someone she's not. But the more she hides her real personality, the more invisible she becomes. Imagine a candle trying to shine by borrowing someone else's flame. It may glow for a moment, but it will never shine with its own light. That's exactly what happens when you build your identity around other people's opinions. A magnetic girl doesn't try to be everyone's favorite. She knows her values, respects herself, and isn't afraid to be different. She speaks with kindness, but she also has boundaries. She doesn't chase people who don't appreciate her, because she understands that her value doesn't decrease just because someone failed to recognize it. Ironically, when you stop desperately trying to be like, people begin to notice your confidence. They respect your authenticity because it has become so rare. Instead of asking, "How can I make everyone like me?" start asking, "Am I becoming someone I genuinely respect?" That single shift changes everything. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever changed yourself just to fit in? Share your experience in the comments. You never know who your story might encourage. One thing that makes a girl truly magnetic is knowing that she doesn't have to speak all the time to be noticed. Many people think being loud, constantly posting, or always trying to entertain others is the secret to getting attention. But in reality, people often remember those who speak with intention rather than those who speak the most. Imagine walking into a room where one person is trying to be the center of attention, while another quietly listens, smiles, and speaks only when she has something meaningful to say. Surprisingly, the second person often leaves the stronger impression. Why? Because confidence doesn't need to announce itself. It simply exists. A magnetic girl isn't afraid of silence. She listens more than she talks, observes more than she reacts, and thinks before she speaks. This doesn't make her weak, it makes her wise. She understands that not every opinion needs a response, not every argument deserves her energy, and not every person deserves access to her peace. When you stop trying to fill every silence, people naturally become more curious about you. Your calmness becomes your strength, and your presence begins to speak louder than your words ever could. And if you're enjoying this conversation so far, don't forget to like this video. It really helps these messages reach more girls who may need this reminder today. A truly magnetic girl isn't admired because she has the perfect life. She's admired because she protects her peace. So many girls spend their days worrying about what people think, checking who viewed their story, waiting for a message, or overthinking a conversation from yesterday. Slowly, they hand over their happiness to people who aren't even thinking about them. Imagine carrying a glass of water all day. At first, it feels light, but after hours of holding it, even that small weight becomes exhausting. The same thing happens when you carry other people's opinions everywhere you go. The opinions themselves may not be heavy, but constantly thinking about them drains your energy. A magnetic girl knows when to let go. She doesn't waste her time proving herself to people who have already decided not to understand her. She invests that energy in becoming wiser, kinder, healthier, and closer to the person she wants to be. That's why people are naturally drawn to her, because she has a calmness that can't be bought, and a confidence that doesn't depend on anyone's approval. The moment you stop chasing validation, you make space for real growth to begin. And if you've been enjoying these conversations on Imaan, I'd love for you to subscribe, because in our next episode, we'll talk about something very close to the heart: how you can rebuild yourself with Allah. If you've ever felt lost, distant, or like you need a fresh start, I truly believe that conversation will bring you hope. I can't wait to share it with you. At the end of the day, becoming magnetic isn't about changing your face, buying expensive clothes, or trying to become someone you're not. It's about becoming the kind of woman whose presence brings peace, whose words carry wisdom, and whose character leaves a lasting impression. Imagine meeting yourself 5 years from now. Would that future version of you thank you for spending your days chasing people's attention? Or would she thank you for choosing growth instead? The truth is, the girl you dream of becoming is built by the choices you make today. Every book you read, every skill you learn, every unhealthy habit you leave behind, every moment you choose self-respect over seeking validation, these small decisions quietly transform you. People often think magnetic girls are born that way, but they're not. They become magnetic because they consistently work on themselves when no one is watching. They protect their peace. They know their worth. They treat others with kindness, and they refuse to let temporary opinions define their identity. Remember, the goal was never to make everyone notice you. The goal was to become someone who no longer needs to be noticed to feel valuable. Because the moment your confidence comes from within instead of from other people's approval, you've already become the kind of person others naturally respect and admire. If this episode spoke to your heart, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Imaan, and share it with a friend who needs this reminder. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What is one habit you're going to start today to become the best version of yourself? Your answer might inspire another girl to take her first step. Thank you for spending your time with me. Until next time, keep growing, protect your peace, and always remember that the most magnetic version of you is the one that's authentic, confident, and true to her values. Assalamu Alaikum.